The last example that we're going to do here in the notes is one where we have a cutout. Now, a cutout means that some sort of 3D shape has been taken out of our original, and it actually increases some of the surface area as well. I will show you an example in class of a 3D shape that has a cutout. Actually looks very much like this. It's a rectangular prism with a cylinder cutout. And what we need to understand is that this cylinder actually has surface area inside. And we need to include that surface area inside of our rectangular prism. Okay, so we have to include that surface area inside the rectangular prism. First thing that we want to do is we want to determine what are the shapes that we are given. In this case, we are given two of them. This big one here, and then we have this one on the inside, which is being cut out. So the big one there on the outside is, again, as mentioned, a rectangular prism. Okay, it's a rectangular prism, and the one that's being cut out here is a cylinder. We have a rectangular prism, and we have a cylinder. Okay, the rectangular prism has a cylinder cutout. That's the important thing that we recognize. The rectangular prism has a cylinder which has been cut out, which actually increases that surface area on the inside. First things first, let's find the surface area of that rectangular prism. Now, surface area, and again, I'm going to use my little shorthand here of a rectangular prism. In this case here, we actually have a cube. Okay, so it's a cube. So all 6 sides are the same. So I'm going to do 6 times 15 feet squared. 6 times 15 feet squared. Okay, and I do that because all 6 sides are exactly the same. It is a cube. So I can just multiply my 15 squared by 6. And that's going to give me a surface area of the rectangular prism is equal to 6 times 15 squared. 1350 square feet. There we go. At 1,350 square feet. Now, one of the things that you might recognize here, and this is something that we should kind of get started with right away, is the fact that this rectangular prism isn't complete. There are 2 circles which are being cut out of the rectangular prism. This one in the front here, and there's also one in the back. So of this 1,350 square feet, 2 circles are being cut out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the area of the circle which is being cut out. So I'm going to start with that. The area, and you'll notice here I'm using, I'm using just A for area. Area of the circle is pi r squared. And there are 2 of them, so I'm actually going to multiply by 2. A little dot there. Okay, I'm going to multiply by 2. Whoops, sorry about that. Hit the wrong button. To find the area of both circles, which I'm then going to subtract out of my rectangular prism. So the area of the circle is equal to, actually, you know, let's put the radius in right away. So it's 4 feet. There you go. So we have pi r squared. I multiplied by 2 right away because, well, we have 2 of them. So when we do this, this is going to be pi times, let's do this correctly. 2 times pi times 4 squared, and this is going to be an area of 100.53. Get back into my math type here. 100.53 feet squared. And so that's the area of the circle. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be subtracting that out of the area of the rectangular prism. And so actually our surface area of the rectangular prism, and we can write it as this because what I'm doing is I'm kind of taking those circles out, is equal to 1,350 feet squared minus 100.53 feet squared. And that equals 1249.47 square feet. All right, I changed that color there by accident. Let's change it. See if we can get it back. This will work. There we go. There, got it back to red. Good. Okay, this is now my rectangular prism. So the whole rectangular prism was found. We subtract the circles off, and that's going to give us our entire, or the rest of our rectangular prism. Okay, so there, rectangular prism is done. Okay, because we subtracted off those circles that we had there. Now, the cylinder, okay, here's the tricky part about the cylinder, is that this cylinder actually does not have a top or a bottom, okay? Those are empty spaces, so there's no surface area. So the only part of the surface area that we are going to find is the lateral area of our cylinder. And so surface area of a cylinder, if we put that in there, it is 2 pi r squared. And I will correct that right away by putting an equal sign there. There we go. Plus 2 pi r h, where h is the height. Now in this case here, it's kind of a length, but we can consider it a height as well. This cylinder has two parts. The 2 pi r squared are the front and the back, or the top and the bottom of our cylinder, which we don't have in this case. So in fact, if we recognize that, we can remember that we don't have to find that part. We just are going to find this part because we just need that lateral area of the cylinder. Okay, we only need the lateral area of the cylinder. So when we put this into our equation here, surface area of our cylinder is equal to, well, now we just need 2 times pi times the radius, 4 feet, times the length or height of this cylinder, and you notice it goes all the way through, so it's this entire length, so it's 15 feet. And this is actually going to include, so this includes, or this is going to be added onto our total surface area. So surface area of the cylinder there we go, is equal to 2 times pi times 4 times 15, which is 376.99 feet squared. 376.99 feet squared. Now again, that part is being added onto our rectangular prism because there is extra surface area inside of that column, okay? Or that cylinder has extra surface area. All right, once we're at that point, so now we know what our rectangular prism area was because we subtracted the circles off. We know what our cylinder's surface area is because we didn't even include the top and bottom of it. We just got the inside piece. And now we're going to find our total surface area. And we do that by adding them all together. So I'm going to surface area total is equal to 1249.47 feet squared plus 376.99 feet squared. Now I'm adding because I'm adding that extra surface area on the inside. Okay, so it's important that we recognize that we're adding that. Surface area total is equal to 1,626.46 feet squared. Okay, so there's our total surface area. Now again, we found the rectangular prism, subtracted the 2 circles off of it. We found those 2 circles because those are empty. So there is nothing there. They're empty. That's not surface area. Then we found just the lateral area of our cylinder because that is part of our surface area. Okay, so we needed to find that because it's part of the surface area. We added 2 together to come up with our final answer down here. Now, I'd like you to work on questions 1 through 8 on measurement number 5 or assignment number 5, which is the next page down. So work on those questions. Make sure that we are subtracting the areas that we don't need, right, or that are not there or are unseen, and we're adding the parts that are seen.